Welcome back to Anime Stark. In this video, we're diving into part 2 of our What If Deku Was Betrayed by His Friends and Transferred to Class B series. How will Deku handle this new path, and what challenges lie ahead? Let's find out. Friday/Classroom B. Tetsu, hey Awase. He said energetically. Awase, what do you want Tetsu? Tetsu, Sensei will name the teams today, right? Awase, that's what Kendo said. Tetsu, then I'll ask her. Awase, but it hasn't arrived yet. Tetsu, then to Midoriya. Awase, it doesn't arrive either. Tetsu, damn, wait I'll ask Monoma. Awase, it hasn't arrived either he was interrupted. Tetsu. It takes me the also interrupted. Ibara, language. Tetsu, sorry. He said bowing. Pony, but what Awase says is true, neither Itsuka, nor Monoma nor Izuku-kun are here, blushing at the mention of broccoli. Yanagi, how strange that the only ones missing from the classroom are the authorities and Vlad-sensei. Ibara, that's true, wait, like Izuku-kun. She said jealously. Pony, what you heard? Equally jealous. Ibara. You're right. Sighs, God, give me patience, because if you give me strength, I'll kill her. She said while joining her hands in prayer. Hononuki, women are scary when they get angry, whispered. Manga, you can say it, also in a whisper. Shishida, but why is it that Sensei and the others are taking so long? Kodai, maybe they're in a meeting. Upon mentioning that phrase, Vlad, Kendo, Monoma and Izuku enter the classroom and the other students take their respective seats, except for those mentioned. Vlad, good morning students. Class B, good morning Sensei. Vlad, I'm sorry for my delay and that of the authorities, but we had to do some paperwork because of the equipment that the president told you about. Tetsu, Sensei, are you ready? Vlad, hi, he responded, drawing everyone's attention. The teams are already formed, and the presidents and the counselor will be in charge of communicating the rest. Those named nodded their heads. Kendo, thank you Sensei, as Vlad Sensei said the teams are already formed. Izuku, they have been formed according to their specialties and abilities with their quirks, and since there are 21 of us in the room, the selection became easier because the teams are of Kendo, and then, Counselor Monoma will hand out a sheet of paper, on which is your team number and your teammates, makes a sign, and Monoma starts handing out the sheets to his teammates. Ibara/Pony/Setsuna, let me play with Izuku-kun/ my little cousin, the three of them thought. Monoma, ready. He said to Kendo. Izuku, now we ask you to gather the teams to communicate something important. Ibara, Izuku-kun, with a very sweet voice. Izuku, hi Ibara-chan. Ibara, I have a complaint. Pony/Setsuna, me too. Izuku, and what is it? Ibara/Pony. Why did he hit me with her? Pointing at each other. Kendo, because Pony serves as a mid and short-range attacker, and Ibara serves to create traps and Tetsu serves as a defensive wall and short-range attacker. Ibara/Pony, did I get Tetsu? Tetsu, hey, look at the sheet, shows the team sheet, we are team 4. Ibara, I didn't touch Izuku, she said distressed. Pony, me neither, same way. Izuku, and you Setsuna, what complaint do you have? Setsuna, tell me cousin like before, yes? With puppy eyes, but my complaint is that I don't play with you, but with that crazy Monoma. Monoma, hey. Kendo, your team is Monoma, as a defender due to the variety of quirks he can copy, Shishida as an attacker, and you as espionage and group combat. Yanagi, and who did you get, Itsuka? Kendo, I was matched with. Reads the sheet, Yui and Izuku. Pony/Ibara/Setsuna, lucky. Kodai, it's great that I'm meeting my friend and the best student in the class. Izuku, I think they think too highly of me he. Monoma, it seems more like you are the one who underestimates yourself, but what team number are they? My team is 5. Izuku, let's see, reads the sheet, we are team 7. Kendo, well, what we wanted to communicate is that since the teams are formed, in a week there will be a fight between all the teams of Class B. Izuku, so take advantage of the days left until then to improve your relationship with your team and generate strategies based on your quirks and synchronization as a team. Monoma, so without anything else to say, go further. Class B, plus Ultra. Meanwhile with Class A. Ashawa, Well, since I have nothing to say, your presidents will tell you your teams. Also, Shinso will attend Class A starting Monday. Sero, great. Yaoyorozu, well, I'll dictate your teams. 5 minutes later. Yaoyorozu, that would be all. Uraka, why didn't I play with Ikun? Todoroki, because you are with Kaminari as a long and medium range attacker, Sero as a trap creator, and you as a defender and short range attacker. Ida, and because you and Bakugo form a single team. Todoroki, because with Shinso we are 26 teams of 3 and 1 of 2, Mr. President. Bakugo, Deku's team will surely be the second strongest in UA. Todoroki, and the first one. Bakugo, mine. Todoroki, you won't say ours? Bakugo, no. I said mine. Kirishima, I wonder who Midoriya got? Friday afternoon / Class B dorms. In the main hall of the dorms we observed the entire class divided into groups of 3, this due to the newly created teams for UA classes. Team 5. Shishida, Setsuna-san, Monoma-kun, how do you think we can work well as a team? Setsuna, I think our team is more defensive than offensive. Monoma, that's true, your quirk serves to create distractions for enemies, and since you can split into several parts, you are useful for espionage and fighting enemies when they are in a group. Shishida is very offensive, but due to his large size that he reaches when activating his quirk, he serves as both a defensive and offensive wall. While I am a multi-purpose due to the variety of quirks that I can copy, but thanks to that I can counter stronger opponents than me for a limited period of time. However, there is an opponent who can beat us due to his intelligence and strength. Shishida, hi, Midoriya-kun is very skilled in both mind and strength, and he could overcome our defenses if we give him a chance to think of a strategy. Ibara, my little cousin has the advantage over Shishida due to his size and agility. He already faced Monoma and couldn't copy his quirk, but now that I think about it. Why didn't you copy it, Monoma? She asked. Monoma, because his quirk isn't a simple increase in strength, but rather one that accumulates energy to release it in the form of strength and speed. That's why when I tried to copy it with my quirk, I couldn't, because I copied the ability to accumulate energy, but I didn't copy the energy it accumulated. In other words, his quirk is like a charged battery, and I copied the battery, but not the energy it contained, Monoma explained, leaving his team perplexed. Shishida remained in an analytical pose, while Setsuna remembered something. Flashback. Setsuna, hey Midoriya, why did you break your arms and legs when using your quirk at the sports festival, and now you don't do it anymore? Izuku, thinks of an excuse, well Tokage-san, my quirk awakened a few months before the UA entrance exam, and I didn't have time to get used to it, and thanks to that I hurt myself by using it incorrectly. But, thanks to my training I managed to handle it in such a way that I reduced the power but improved the control. Setsuna, I've never heard of a quirk that takes so long to manifest. Izuku, it seems I was a very particular case. Setsuna, I think that makes you a unique person. Izuku, thank you Tokage-san, he said nervously and with a blush. End flashback. Setsuna, that explains it. Announced. Monoma, what do you mean? Setsuna, he said that his quirk took a while to manifest, it was probably because over the years his body was accumulating energy. Monoma, if it took him that long to accumulate that power, we're ruling out the idea of copying his quirk. Shishida, I think instead of focusing on Midoriya-san, we should think about our other classmates. Setsuna, yes, I think it's better. Monoma, then let's get to work. He said determinedly. Team 4. Ibara, so, how do you think we should work? Pony, I could be helpful for mid and short range attacks, but I'm not a good defender. Tetsu, my skills are mainly based on defense, but I can also serve as a close range attacker. Ibara, I serve to catch enemies and create traps, so I have a more defensive and a little offensive role. Tetsu, in short, our team is a mix of defense and offense at medium and short distances. Pony, so our weakness is long-range attackers. Ibara, there are few long-range attackers in our class, but in Class A, there are very powerful ones like Todoroki and Bakugo. Pony, Izuku-kun also has very powerful ranged attacks. Tetsu, it's true, Midoriya can create very powerful air blasts, plus he has those black whips he used last year. Ibara, we have to be careful with Izuku-kun, but we also have to be careful with the others. Team 7. Kodai, hey Midoriya. Izuku, hi Kodai-san. Kodai, why is Itsuka taking so long? Izuku, Vlad-sensei called her for something important, but I don't know the details. Kodai, while that's going on, how about we think of a way to work together? Izuku, sounds good to me. Let's explain our quirks first, so we can see how to best use them together. Kodai, well, my quirk allows me to enlarge or shrink anything I touch, as long as it's in contact with me. Izuku, I think we can come up with a strategy based on that, but I'd better explain my quirk first. My quirk allows me to increase my physical qualities, based on the energy accumulated in my body. Kodai, I see, I'll explain Itsuka's quirk since she's absent. Her quirk increases the size of her hands, while increasing her physical strength, but the bigger her hands grow, the harder it will be to move. Izuku, He started to think, you can develop a defensive and offensive role at medium and short distance. Itsuka focuses on melee attacks, and I perform short-range attacks as a specialty, but I can perform a few long-range attacks like my Delaware Smash or my Black Whips, and my speed helps me when fighting. Kodai, and in conclusion, we are short and medium-range attackers, and a little bit of long range. Izuku, exactly. Kodai, but we must be careful of long-range attackers like Bakugo or Todoroki, since they can generate a lot of damage without being close, and our specialty is melee attacks, and they would put us at a disadvantage. Izuku, you guessed right, we must create a strategy to counter that weakness, but we have to wait for Itsuka so we can come up with it. Kodai, hi. Then Itsuka appears, which seemed to be in a hurry. Kendo, Izuku, come with me to Class A immediately. She exclaimed very upset. Izuku, hey President. The orange-haired girl took the broccoli by the hand and ran to Class A. Meanwhile with Class A. The students in Class A were scattered around the main hall, engaged in various activities, from playing cards to watching TV to sleeping on the couch. Except for one group of two who were discussing how to work together. Bakugo, listen half-half, the strategy is to lunge fearlessly and cause as much damage as possible, understood? Todoroki, I think it would be better to reconsider the strategy. Bakugo, why do you say that? Todoroki, because we are long-range attackers, however, neither of us could win against a close combat expert like Kirishima, Ida, or Midoriya, if he gets too close to us. Bakugo, damn, that idiot Deku would be useful in this kind of cases. Todoroki, we agree on that. Kaminari, hey you two, pointing at Bakugo and Todoroki, why don't you come have some fun and then make your strategies? Ida, that's right, we have a week to think about it, now we have to have some fun. Todoroki, honestly, I'd rather be here, pointing to his spot, than with you guys. Bakugo, and I don't want to waste time, knowing that bastard Deku is getting stronger. Uraka, that useless guy couldn't possibly face anyone in the class and win. Todoroki, I remind you that he was one of the strongest in the class, and he defeated Ida with great ease. Not to mention that he defeated Overhaul with all his power. Yaoyorozu, I think we don't have to worry about Midoriya, after all, the matches will be between us, not against Class B. Upon mentioning that, Kendo and Izuku appear at the doors of the Class A dorms. Kendo, excuse the intrusion Class A. Ida. What's going on? Izuku, what happens is that the teachers have decided to change next week's matches. Yaoyorozu, what do you mean Midoriya? Kendo, that the fights will not be between their own class, but against ours. Class A, what T? Mineta, do you want US to face Midoriya? Kendo, more or less. Izuku, the fights will be between classes, but that doesn't mean there will be two sides, but rather a battle of all against all. Todoroki, so, apart from facing our own class, we will face teams from their class. Kendo, hi. Bakugo, Deku. Izuku, hi Kachan? Bakugo, in fights make sure you don't lose so you can beat yourself. Izuku, don't worry, I'll stand by my team to defeat you and Todoroki. Bakugo and Todoroki nodded with a challenging smile. Kendo, that would be all, we leave, starts to leave. Ida, hey Midoriya. Izuku, hi, he said without emotion. Ida, I won't let them win this time. Uraka, that's too Kun, show USWHO's boss. Izuku, and I'm not going to lose to anyone, no matter who my opponent is, he said challengingly. Uraka/Ida, damn, who do you think you are? Izuku, I am the hero Deku, and I am going to be the next symbol of peace, so I will not give in to anyone, no matter who I face or what the situation is, because that is my dream and I am going to fulfill it. See you later Class A, leaves. Bakugo, if he's already lost his fear of speaking in front of you, it means he's become very strong. This will be more fun than I had planned, he said smiling. Todoroki, if we are going to face Midoriya, it will be more entertaining and complicated, he said seriously. With Kendo and Izuku. Kendo, I never thought you would say that in front of so many people. Izuku. Izuku, hee hee, I think it was a very good way to get out of that situation. Kendo, hee hee, out of nowhere she feels a pain in her head, ah. She screamed in pain. Izuku, Itsuka, are you okay? Grabs his forehead, you're burning up. Kendo, it hurts. Izuku, I'll take you to the infirmary. Carries her like a princess, hold on tight. Kendo, hi, he said weakly. Nursing. Recovery girl examined Kendo and diagnosed her with a disease. RG, your partner is sick due to overexertion she has made recently. Izuku, I see, what do you need to improve? RG, you should rest today and all day tomorrow, and you'll be as good as new by Sunday. Kendo, but I must finish my work as president and organize with my team. Izuku, don't worry, I'll take care of that, it's my duty as vice president and as your friend Itsuka-chan. Kendo, blushes, but. Izuku, no buts. Kendo, hi. RG, well, take her to her room to rest and take care of her tomorrow. Izuku, hi. Saturday/8am/Kendo room. We saw an orange-haired woman lying in her bed, snuggling up in her blankets. It's worth noting that the orange-haired woman's forehead was red due to her illness. Kendo, he said waking up, my head still hurts. Holds his head, it's going to be time to go have breakfast, but with this pain I don't feel like getting out of my bed. Complained. Knock knock knock. Kendo, pass. Izuku, opens the door, it's me Itsuka. Kendo, it's you, Izuku. What are you doing here? Izuku, didn't I tell you yesterday? To which Kendo looked at him with a confused face, I told you that I would take care of you until you get better, he showed a smile. Kendo, but. Izuku, no buts, I said I would take care. Kendo, okay, sighed in defeat. Izuku, besides, if I didn't take care of you, I wouldn't be a good vice president or friend, and I wouldn't be gentlemanly at all. Kendo, thank you. Izuku, you're welcome, wait for me while I bring your breakfast. Kendo, I can't go anywhere anyway. Izuku, hee hee, leaves the room. 15 minutes later. Izuku, I'm back. Itsuka. Kendo, it took you a while to come back. Izuku, I'm sorry, but a freshly made breakfast is better, showed a plate with food. Kendo, thanks for making it for me, approaches the plate, it looks delicious. Izuku leaves the plate on Kendo's nightstand. Izuku, served. Kendo, thank you very much. 30 minutes later. The presidents of Class B spent their time talking about anecdotes and getting to know each other better, about their likes and dislikes. Kendo, it was delicious, he wiped it with a napkin, thank you very much Izuku. Izuku, it's a pleasure. Kendo, I'm sorry for being a delay to our team's planning. Izuku, don't worry, yesterday Kodai-san and I discussed the roles each of us can play on the team. Kendo, and how did they do it without me being present? She asked doubtfully. Izuku, Kodai-san knew you very well, so she gave the role you could take, your skills and what you specialize in. I think she knows you very well. Kendo, of course, after all she is my best friend. Izuku, hee hee. Kendo and Izuku were silent for a few minutes. Kendo, Izuku. Izuku, hi. Kendo, what do you think of me? Izuku, what do you mean? Kendo, I mean, what opinion do you have of my way of being and acting? Izuku, well, I think you're a good leader. Kendo, really? Izuku, of course, you always pay attention to class, you do extra work just for the common good, and you even got sick because of it. Those are qualities of a true hero, thinking about the well-being of others before your own and saying that you are okay in any situation, no matter how bad you are inside, so that other people are infected with that smile and positive energy. Itsuka. You are an excellent leader, and you will be an incredible heroine, raises his thumb in approval. Kendo, do you really think that about me? He said it with a look of astonishment. Izuku, don't have any doubts about that. Kendo, thank you. Izuku, but. Kendo, but what? Izuku, but you have to remember that you can't do everything alone. No matter how strong, smart, and skilled you are, you'll never be able to do it all alone. You have to rely on the people you trust to improve not only as a heroine, but also as a person. Because if you try to do everything alone, you'll only hurt yourself, and in the end, nothing will turn out right. So, when you have a lot of homework, ask me, Kodai, Monoma, and anyone in the class for help. We'll always be there to lend a hand. Izuku, besides, you'll always have me to help you. After all, I'm the class vice president, and I'll help anyone who needs it, even you, Itsuka-chan. Kendo, I see. Blushes at the honorific, thank you very much for the advice, Izuku-kun. Izuku, you're welcome, President. Kendo, I think you are an excellent person, hero and friend, and with an unbreakable will. Izuku, why do you say that? Kendo, because you get up every time you fall, you always show a smile and a positive attitude in any situation, you help anyone who needs it, you even realize people's problems before they realize they have them. Kendo, also, even though Uraka and Ida tricked you into changing classes, you kept that smile that characterizes you. I think that if it had been any other member of Class A, they would have done everything possible to stay in their class, but you gladly accepted, why? Izuku, I guess it's because I saw it as a new opportunity. I thought I was going to get expelled for hitting Ida, but they gave me the chance to continue, but in this class, so I was happy about that, and I promised myself that I was going to improve no matter what classes I had. Besides, there aren't many differences between Class A and Class B. Kendo, what do you mean? Izuku, both belong to the hero class, both have skilled and powerful students, and neither is less than the other, each is better than the other class in one aspect, as Class A has more experience because it was tangled up with the frequent attacks of the League of Villains, but Class B has better theoretical knowledge and they try much harder than Class A, to show that they are no less. However, the two have something in common that unites and defines them. All its members want and will be great heroes, and that will is what unifies both classes. Izuku, but I honestly think there are two ongoing hero classes because it would be difficult to manage a classroom with 40 students. Kendo, you are very wise, do you know that? Izuku, I don't think I'm as wise as you say, I still have a lot to learn. Kendo, but if you have that thought, you are wiser than many students. Izuku, if you say so, hee. Kendo, what an interesting conversation, don't you think? Izuku, of course it was. And it's only 9 in the morning. Kendo, with an anime-style drop, I thought it was already noon. Izuku, how about we play a board game so we don't get bored? Kendo, sounds good to me. There's a chess set in the closet. Can you take it out for a play? Izuku, with pleasure. The two played chess for hours on end, with the score tied after 20 games for Kendo and 20 for Izuku. They were so caught up in the game that they forgot about lunchtime. 2 p.m. Main Hall. Tetsu, my special stew is ready. He said very excitedly. Komori, the only special thing about it is that you put a lot of foods with iron in it. Tetsu, hey, iron is very essential for a good diet. Complained. Awase, but with all the iron you put in, you could make a set of exercise weights, and there would be some left over. Tetsu stood in a corner with a depressive aura muttering things about disrespecting his culinary talent. Yanagi, hey Yui. Kodai, hi. Yanagi, have you seen Itsuka and Midoriya? I haven't seen them all day. Kodai, Itsuka got sick and Izuku is taking care of her. Yanagi, how about you take their lunch to both of them? Kodai, sounds good to me. He serves the stew on 2 plates and heads to Kendo's room. Meanwhile in Kendo's room, Izuku and Itsuka were in the middle of a chess game, at a decisive moment in the game. Everything was going well until Kodai forcefully opened the door, startling the duo and causing the board to fall to the floor. Kodai, I brought you your lunches. Kendo, with noticeable anger. Izuku, fainted from the fall of the game. Kodai, were they speechless or what? Kendo, Yui, we were in a very important part of the game, and now it's ruined, starts to enlarge his hands, you better run, with a voice from beyond the grave. Kodai, who is calm and serene, was scared by what Kendo said and could only say a few words. Kodai, I'd better go, disappearing in a blur of speed comparable to All Might in his prime 2:10 p.m., Kendo room. Kendo, Yui, shouted angrily. Izuku, what happened? Waking up from the scream. Kendo, because of Yui the chessboard fell to the floor. She said angrily. Izuku, calm down Itsuka, there's nothing you can do, right? Kendo, but I was about to beat you. Complained. Izuku, you'll say about to lose, he mocked. Kendo, as you say, in a mocking tone. Izuku, hee hee. By the way, what time is it? Kendo, 2:10, why do you ask? Izuku, because I feel like I'm forgetting something, starts to remember. Flashback. RG, hey kid. Izuku, hi. RG, I gave your friend a medicine that will start to take effect tomorrow afternoon. Izuku, and what is the effect of the medicine? RG, it will help you get better, but it will also cause a little dizziness that will pass in a few hours. Izuku, and how do I help him with the dizziness? RG, you can do a few massages near the head, or you can sleep a little to let it go away. Izuku, thanks for the heads up. End flashback. Izuku, that was it. I hope it still hasn't taken effect, he thought. Kendo, hey Izuku. Izuku, hi? Kendo, I feel a little dizzy and sleepy, started to wobble, I think playing so much made my head hurt. Izuku, damn, he thought, calm down Itsuka, I'll explain what's going on but first lie down on your bed, he indicated. Kendo, okay, does as instructed, now what? Izuku, well, recovery girl gave you a medicine that causes a little dizziness. Kendo, and how do I deal with them, because they really bother me? Izuku, you can rest a little. Or. Kendo, oh? Izuku, or I can give you a massage near your head to make the dizziness go away. Kendo, ehh. He started to blush, well me. Izuku, your choice. I'm just here to take care of you. So if it bothers you, I can leave so you can rest for a while. Starting to leave. Kendo, wait. Izuku stops and turns to look at Kendo, I would like a massage, he stuttered shyly. Izuku, sure? Kendo, I trust you, and I know you won't do anything wrong to me. Izuku, then I won't betray your trust. Kendo, I know, nodded with a smile. Izuku had Kendo turn over in bed, face down, to start the massages. Izuku started massaging Itsuka's lower back for a few minutes, then moved on to her upper back and shoulders. Kendo could only feel the relaxing massages Izuku gave her, they were the most soothing she'd ever felt, and she couldn't help but sigh in relief. For a while, the massage session continued, until Kendo yawned. Kendo, yawn, I think I'm sleepy, she said sleepily. Izuku, hee hee, that was enough massage, right? He smiled and Kendo got a few small laughs, I better go so you can rest. He heads to the door, rest, Itsuka-chan. Kendo, thank you Izuku. Izuku, closes the door. Kendo, well, let's rest, he said to close his eyes and start sleeping. 3p.m./main hall. Awase, hey Kodai. Kodai, hi. Awase, why did you run so fast when you came back from Kendo's room? Kodai, it was that or suffer Kendo's wrath. Awase, now I understand, he said with a face that showed fear. While that conversation was taking place, another group of people were talking in the kitchen. Tetsu, hey girls. Pony/Ibara, yes? Tetsu, what are you doing? Both girls were standing in front of the open refrigerator, drinking ice water, with ice packs on their heads. Ibara, Izuku-kun worries a lot about Itsuka just because she's sick. Pony, then we'll get sick so Izuku-kun can also worry about us like he does now for Itsuka. Tetsu, sometimes I think they exaggerate for that kind of thing, he said it with a drop on his head in anime style. Meanwhile with Class A. The students of the prestigious Class A were gathered in the main hall of their dorms to welcome their new classmate, Hitoshi Shinso. Ida, welcome to Class A, Shinso-kun. As class president, I hope you feel comfortable with your classmates. Shinso, thank you very much for the welcome, he said expressionless as always. Yaoyorozu, nice to meet you Shinso-kun, as the vice president of the class, I welcome you, Bose. Shinso, also, thank you very much, mimicking the action. Todoroki, welcome to class. Shinso, thank you. Hagakure/Mina/Uraka/Kaminari/Mineta, let's have a party for the new partner. Class A-Shinos, Todoroki and Bakugo, hi. Kirishima, how about we invite those from Class B? Ida, why would we do that? Kirishima, because they're also part of the hero department, so they should know the new one, right? Kaminari, I think it's a good idea. Yaoyorozu, I think so too. The rest of the class supported the idea. Ida, sighs in defeat, okay, Ochako-chan, can you go tell Class B please? Uraka, of course to-kun. Meanwhile, in Class B, Izuku was in his room lifting some weights. Izuku, what can I do for the rest of the afternoon? He wondered. Tetsu, hey Midoriya. Spoke from the hallway. Izuku, hi opens the door, what do you want Tetsu? Tetsu, do you want to go train with me for a while? He asked anxiously. Izuku, of course, I don't have anything to do until Kendo wakes up. Tetsu, then let's go. Izuku, okay. The two headed out towards the UA gym. As the two walked, most of Class B was gathered in the main hall for various reasons, talking, leisure, eating, etc., but they were interrupted by a visitor. Uraka, good afternoon. Kodai, good afternoon Uraka-san. Uraka, I'm here to invite you to a party we're hosting to welcome Shinso to the hero class. Kodai, sounds good to me. The rest of the class nods. Uraka, okay, it's 6 p.m. see you then, leaves. Kodai, we have to go tell Itsuka, Midoriya, and Tetsu. Komori, I'll go tell Midoriya and Tetsu, since they're at the gym. Kodai, I'll go tell Itsuka. Komori nodded and went to the gym to tell Izuku and Tetsu, while Kodai went to Itsuka's room. With Komori. The mushroom girl arrived at the gym and watched the training of the duo that was there. Izuku was with full cooling activated, and at the same time Tetsu had his quirk active. Komori remained silent to continue watching the training. The training duo still didn't notice the girl, so they continued. Izuku attacked Tetsu, and Tetsu defended himself. This was to enhance Izuku's attack and Tetsu's iron defense. They both continued for a few minutes until Izuku stopped. Tetsu, what's up Midoriya? Izuku, Komori-san, what do you need? Komori showed himself to the two, surprising Tetsu. Komori, I'm sorry for spying on you, blushing with embarrassment, but I came to let you know that Class A has invited us to a welcome party for Shinso-kun to the hero class. Tetsu, sure, we have to go say hello to Shinso. Izuku, what time is it? Komori, it's at 6 in the evening. Izuku, okay, thanks for the heads up Komori-san, we'll finish training and go to the party. Komori, okay, don't forget to take a bath. Komori leaves and the other two continue training. With Kodai. Kodai arrived at Itsuka's door and knocked on it. Knock. Itsuka, waking up from the noise, hi? Kodai, Itsuka open. It's me. Itsuka, Yui, come in. Kodai, excuse me, opens the door. Itsuka, what do you need Yui? Yui, explains what Uraka said. Kendo, I see. I'm not going. Yui, eh? Why don't you go, the whole class will be there. Surprised. Itsuka, because I'm still sick. Even though I'm better than before, it's better for me to stay and rest. Yui, but when I came to your room an hour ago you were playing chess with Midoriya without any problem. She said confused. Itsuka, I was in bed, so I could play chess. Yui, it's not because Midoriya was there, is it? In a mischievous voice. Itsuka, blushing, eh? Don't say that Yui. Of course I didn't do it because Izuku was here. Yui, your blush says otherwise Itsuka. Itsuka, blushes even more. Yui, you also call him by his name. That's unusual for you. Itsuka, I told him that because I think he's a good friend and I trust him a lot, not for any other reason. Yui, if you say so. At that, an idea crossed Yui's mind. Yui, how about you ask Midoriya to watch over you while we're at the party? Yui, since you trust him so much and adding that he was the one who was taking care of you all day, what do you think? Itsuka thought for a while. On one hand, she could go to the party with her friends, but on the other hand, she didn't want to force Izuku to babysit her the entire party. Itsuka, that would be a bad idea, he already took care of me all day, it wouldn't be fair for him to spend the whole party worrying about me. Yui, but we're talking about Midoriya, the kindest and most altruistic boy in all of UA. Besides, he promised to take care of you until you get better, right? Itsuka, he thought for a while longer, sighs, okay, I'll go on the condition that Izuku or someone else takes care of me during the party. Yui, okay, now let's ask Midoriya to watch you. But we have to wait for him in the main hall since he's out training with Tetsu. Itsuka, okay, let's go, starting to walk slowly to the living room. After Itsuka and Yui arrived at the living room, they sat on the sofa to wait for the green-haired man. Itsuka, do you think it will take long? Yui, don't worry, they'll arrive, and the party starts at 6, there's plenty of time. Itsuka, okay. The two waited for a few minutes until the broccoli arrived next to Tetsu. Izuku, hey girls, what are you doing here alone? Itsuka, well, I was waiting for you, with a little blush. Izuku, why me? He said doubtfully. Itsuka, because I wanted to ask you something. Tetsu, I'd better go change for the party, leaves. Yui, same here, same action. Izuku, well, what did you want to ask me, Itsuka-chan? Itsuka, blushing, I wanted to ask you too. Sighs, I wanted to ask you to accompany me to the party. Izuku, but aren't we all supposed to go to the party, nervous and a little blushing. Itsuka, what I mean is, take care of me during the party, since I'm still a little sick, it's hard for me to move and it hurts a little to do so. Itsuka, so I ask you to take care of me and accompany me during the party, bows. Izuku took Itsuka by the shoulders to make him stand and said. Izuku, you don't have to do that. Itsuka-chan shows a smile, I promised you that I would take care of you until you are better, or not? Itsuka nods, so if you already know that, you don't have to ask for it that way. Itsuka, so? She asked excitedly. Izuku, hi Itsuka-chan, I would love to accompany you to the party. Itsuka, thank you Izuku-kun, blushing. Izuku, you're welcome Itsuka-chan, with a smile. Itsuka, hee, you know, you're more confident than before when talking to women. Izuku, I think I have to thank you all, since never before, not even in Class A, did I have the confidence that you give me to talk to women. Itsuka, then you're welcome. Izuku, thank you. 6p.m./outside the Class A dorms. Hononuki, it's party time. Komori, I wonder what's going on at the party? Tetsu, let's go inside. Yui, we have to wait for Itsuka and Midoriya. Ibara/Pony/Setsuna, that's right, where is Izuku-kun? Izuku, here I am. Shouting from afar. Ibara, thank heavens he's already come. Pony, true. Setsuna, wow, my little cousin looks really good today, blushes. This is what Izuku looks like, only instead of shorts, it's jeans. Izuku, sorry for the delay, but I had to wait for Itsuka. Yanagi, and where is she? Izuku, there, points to a place. Izuku's companions turn to look, and observe Itsuka. Itsuka, sorry for the delay, she says sadly. Monoma, no problem. But what if we go into the party? Everyone nods, then let's go. Knock knock knock. Kirishima opens the door and says hello. Kirishima, it's you Class B, come in. Class B, arigato. Class B enters Class A's dorms and looks at the decorations. The decoration wasn't much, it was a few balloons, a sign that said welcome Shinso-kun and a food bar with snacks and a freshly baked cake with the same phrase as the sign. The rest of the room was filled with the members of Class A along with Shinso. Class B went to greet Shinso and the others. Izuku, it's nice to see you Shinso-kun. Shinso, likewise Midoriya. After the greetings, the students began to chat. And the girls grouped together to talk. Mina, hey, and why is Kendo with Midoriya and not coming with us? Yui, because Itsuka is sick and Midoriya is taking care of her. Hagakure, I see. Uraka, I'm sure it's not because she likes the useless one. Ibara, Izuku-kun isn't useless. She said angrily at what Uraka said. Pony/Setsuna, that's true. Equally annoyed. Yaoyorozu, calm down girls, we're not here to fight. Mina, how about we change the subject? Everyone nods, okay, how are you doing with the love thing? Hagakure, Ojiro-kun and I are thinking of starting a relationship, she said with a blush that was not noticeable. Yaoyorozu, well, I've tried to ask Todoroki out on a date but I haven't dared to do it. Tsuyu, the same thing happens to me as Yamomo but with Tokoyami-kun Karo. Uraka, Kun and I are doing great in our relationship. Kyoka, I invited Kaminari on a date and he accepted. Mina, Kirishima and I have gone on a few dates but we haven't thought about starting a relationship yet. Hagakure, and you Class B? Ibara, I went on a date with Izuku during the holidays and I got along very well with him, blushing. Pony, I also went out with Izuku-kun, blushing. Mina, and you Setsuna, have you already found the boy you talked about last year? Setsuna, yes, I already found it. Hagakure, and what is her name? Setsuna, Izuku Midoriya. This left the girl surprised. Mina, so. Hagakure, do you like it? Setsuna, hi, I like Izuku Midoriya. Ibara/Pony, me too. Mina, that's incredibly weird. Hagakure, and you, pointing to the rest. Yui, I like Midoriya, but I don't like him. Yanagi, likewise. Komori, same, but I have to admit he's kind of cute when he's training, with a little blush. Kyoka, who would have thought that Midoriya had so many girls after him? So they spent some time talking, 2 hours to be exact. After that time we can see Kendo with his face a little red. Izuku, hey Itsuka-chan, are you okay? Itsuka, more or less, I start to feel a small headache and a bit of dizziness. Izuku, do you want to go rest in your room? It's bad for you to stay if you're sick, he said worriedly. Itsuka, I think I want to go to my room, with a dizzy look. Izuku, then I'll take you to your room. Itsuka, thank you, with an even redder face. The two start to leave the party, but someone stops them. Todoroki, where are you going Midoriya? Izuku, Kendo feels bad, so I'll take her to her room to rest. Todoroki, okay, I'll tell the rest. Izuku, thank you. Izuku left Itsuka in his bed to rest. But when he was about to leave. Itsuka, Izuku, can you accompany me a little longer, he said weakly. Izuku, of course. Izuku sat next to Itsuka to keep him company. However, Itsuka hugged Izuku. Izuku, fight Suka, said nervously. Itsuka, please. Stay with me, she said in a pleading and sleepy tone. Izuku, Pepper Row. Itsuka, thank you for taking care of me, Izuku-kun, she thanked him before falling asleep. Izuku, oh, he's already asleep. Looks like I'll be staying here. Hee hee. Izuku settled down to sleep with Itsuka. The two of them fell asleep, cuddling. Sunday, 6 a.m., Itsuku's room. In the orange-haired girl's room, we see two people hugging, while both are in a state of sleep. Izuku, he said, waking up. Where am I? Looks at the surroundings. This is not my room. The memories of the previous day come. I remember now. Wait, if this is Itsuka's room, where is she? Feels something between his arms, eh? Looks at Itsuka. Izuku, he screamed in his mind, it can't be. How could I sleep in Itsuka's bed next to her? If the others see us they will misinterpret it! I hope they didn't see us, he whispered. Itsuka, waking up from the whispers. What happened? Looks at Izuku. She was interrupted by Izuku's hand on her mouth. Izuku, shh, he said, don't shout or you'll call the others. Itsuka, oh okay, trying to calm down. Why are you here? Izuku, because you told me you didn't want to be alone, so you hugged me and fell asleep, and so as not to bother you I stayed to sleep with you, explained the green-haired man. Itsuka, I see. She said and hugged Izuku. Izuku, red from the hug. Itsuka-chan, what's wrong? Itsuka, thank you very much for taking care of me all day. Izuku-kun, I'm sorry for being a bother, she thanked and apologized. Izuku, you weren't a bother, Itsuka-chan, it was my duty as class vice president, as a classmate, and most importantly, as a friend, to help you when you were sick. He smiles at her. Besides, what kind of hero would I be if I hadn't helped? Itsuka, blushing, thank you very much Izuku. Izuku, so, are you feeling better now? He asked. Itsuka, hi, I feel recovered from the overexertion I made. Izuku, that's great, but remember not to overexert yourself again. I'll always be there to help you, okay? Itsuka, understood sir. Making a military salute. Izuku, hee, it seems that Tetsu infected you with the military thing, right? He mocked. Itsuka, hey, don't say that. She said, puffing out her cheeks in a pout. Izuku, sorry, looks at the time on Itsuka's alarm clock, it's still 6, it's better to go before someone comes and misinterprets it, he said, then headed to the door. See you later Itsuka-chan. Itsuka, see you later and thank you Izuku-kun. Izuku, you're welcome. He leaves the room. Itsuka, it seems I share the girl's feelings towards you. Izuku puts a hand on his chest. If being a hero means helping others and rescuing them from their problems, Izuku, you are my hero. 9 a.m., Class B dining hall. We watched the students of Class B eating their breakfast and chatting among themselves. Honanuki, hey Midoriya. Izuku, hello Honanuki-kun? Honanuki, why didn't you come back to the party after leaving Kendo? Izuku and Itsuka got nervous about the question, but they managed to hide it. Izuku, what happened is that I got sleepy and decided to go to sleep, he excused himself. Honanuki, I see. Tetsu, hey guys, how about we go somewhere to have fun today? Taking advantage of the fact that it's Sunday? He asked energetically. Komori, I think it's a good idea. Yanagi, I think it's interesting. Pony, excellent. Awase, it would be fun. Izuku, it's a good way to celebrate the weekend. Shishida, it's a good idea Tetsu. Monoma, I don't have anything to do anyway. The rest of the class supports the idea. Itsuka, well, since we're all interested. How about we put it to a vote to decide the location she proposed? Class B, hi. Everyone agreed. It took a few minutes for the voting results to come out. Beach, 11 votes. Shopping center, 9 votes. Church, 1 vote. After counting the votes, Itsuka spoke. Itsuka, okay guys, the results gave the beach as the winner, he announced. Then start preparing your things to go while Midoriya and I go ask Vlad Sensei for permission. Class B, hey President, they all said. 11 a.m., outside the Class B dorms. Itsuka, listen, class. Calling attention, we're going to the train station to get to the beach. The trip will take about an hour, so I recommend you prepare and don't have any needs during the trip. Izuku, also make sure your belongings are with you before, during and after the trip. Class B, there are presidents. Monoma, I recommend that you use sunscreen. Class B, hi counselor. Midday/beach. Monoma, apparently the rumors that it was cleaned were true. Awase, you're right, Monoma. Izuku, and what are you waiting for? Calling attention, let's change and go swimming. Tetsu, Midoriya is right, let's have fun. Class B, hi. The boys went to change separately, that is, the boys went to one locker room and the girls to another. After changing, most went swimming, others went to play sports and others went to tan. While Izuku started grilling for all his classmates. Sunday afternoon, Class A dorms, Yaoyorozu's room. The girls of Class A were gathered for their now classic sleepover, or however you spell it. Mina Ashido was the topic of conversation. Mina, well girls, since we couldn't have much fun at Shinso's welcome party yesterday, since it ended quickly, I thought we'd play. Truth or dare? Said the pink-haired girl. Tsuyu, I think it will be fun Karo. Hagakure, then let's play, said Drax's sister. After saying that, the girls started playing. During the game, many funny scenes, which I'm too lazy to describe, occurred. But the interesting part came when it was Uraka and Mina's turn. Mina, okay Uraka, truth or dare? Uraka, I choose truth. Mina, so? She started to think I know. She exclaimed, why did you leave Midoriya? Uraka, because he hurt Ikun, it's obvious. Mina, we already know that, but why did you go with Ida? After all, I never saw Midoriya being unfaithful to you or anything like that. That sparked the curiosity of the rest of the girls as they also wanted to know. Uraka, well. Sighs, it all started after the incident of the 8 precepts of death, but before the cultural festival. Hagakure, and what exactly happened? Uraka, since we were still in a relationship, we decided to go on a date, so we went out to the mall. Flashback. We see a couple consisting of a green-haired man and a brunette walking hand in hand through the shopping center. Izuku, you know Uraka-chan, although we haven't gone on many dates, I can say that I like having them if you're with me. Uraka, don't say that, Deku-kun a little blushed. Izuku, but you deserve it, after all, you are the person I love with my soul. Uraka, thank you, I love you so much Deku-kun. Izuku, and I love you. Ochako gives her a kiss. Uraka, hug reciprocates. After breaking the kiss, the couple continued walking until a large group of women came across them. Girl 1, hey, aren't you the one on the news who defeated the leader of the 8 precepts of death? Girl 2, yes it is him. Girl 3, take a picture with me. Girl 4, you better go out with me. And so they continued for almost half an hour. The green-haired man let the girls take pictures of him while his girlfriend watched with obvious jealousy. But what really broke Uraka's patience was when a girl kissed Izuku on the cheek, and he got so angry that he would put a tomato to shame. After the girls left, Izuku approached to apologize to his girlfriend for what happened with one of the girls. Izuku, Uraka-chan wanted to apologize for what happened there. Boz, I hope you forgive me, it wasn't my intention. Uraka, if it wasn't your intention, why did you blush when she kissed you? She said, dying of jealousy. Izuku, you know I'm very nervous around girls. Uraka, and because you don't get nervous around me, do you think I'm not as pretty as that girl? Izuku, I didn't say. I didn't finish speaking. Uraka, this date is over, she said angrily and then left. End of flashback. Uraka, and after that, Tofo got worse, as Deku became more and more famous, and with that, every time we had a date, a girl would always appear and ask him for photos or autographs. And this made me jealous. Uraka, so I decided to confront fire with fire, and I thought to get rid of a little jealousy by having a secret boyfriend, which was Ikun, but as time passed I woke up a romantic interest in him. Uraka, and since I saw that Deku didn't notice it, I thought about breaking up with him, but since the fight between Ikun and the bastard happened, I took advantage of it to end the relationship. Mina, I see. Yaoyorozu, hey Uraka. Uraka, yes, Yamomo? Yaoyorozu, you shouldn't have done that to Midoriya. If you didn't feel the same way about him anymore, you should have told him instead of cheating on him with Ida. After all, it wasn't his fault those girls were getting close to him. Uraka, maybe you're right Yamomo, but there's nothing to do now, he's in another class and I'm with Ikun, and I'm happy with that. Hagakure, if that's your answer, we won't tell you anything. Uraka, thanks girls. Mina, but speaking of Midoriya, do you think we could compete against him in fights? Tsuyu, I don't know, it will be very difficult to beat him considering his strength and intelligence. Karo. Yaoyorozu, plus he was able to easily defeat the class president. Jiro, we really have it tough. Girls. Uraka, hi. The members of Class B continued having fun on the beach, doing various activities. Swimming in the sea. Monoma, hey Awase. Awase, hi. Monoma, have you seen Tetsu Tetsu? Awase, I think it's on the shore. Monoma, really? Look at the shore, it's true. Awase, hey Tetsu, come swim. Tetsu Tetsu, you say that because you're not going to rust. Ibara, sitting next to him, but your quirk is deactivated. Tetsu Tetsu, yes, but. Ibara, lying is a sin. Tetsu Tetsu. Tetsu Tetsu. And why don't you go into the sea, huh? Ibara, because thanks to my quirk, my hair gets weak in salt water, so I prefer to swim in fresh water. Tetsu Tetsu. Ibara, It's not that you're afraid of the sea, is it? Tetsu Tetsu, I'm not afraid of the sea. He approaches the sea, and I'll show you. Tetsu Tetsu enters the sea and swims near the shore. Tetsu Tetsu, see Ibara. Ibara, okay, I'd better go eat with Izuku, but be careful with that points. Tetsu Tetsu, with what? Turns around and sees a shark fin, runs towards the shore, shark. Monoma, what shark? Looks at the fin. Togaru, stop using your quirk to scare others. Togaru, with an elbow, which looks like a blade, painted silver. Sorry Monoma, but admit it was fun. Monoma, hee hee, I think it was. Awase, should we go for Tetsu Tetsu? Monoma/Togaru, let it be. Awase, okay. In the sand. Shishida, excuse me Hononuki-san. Hononuki, what do you want Shishida? Shishida, how about you use your quirk to make the sand look like water so we can swim in it? Hononuki, I never thought so. Pony, please Hononuki. Hononuki, okay. Hononuki activated his quirk and the sand took on a water-like texture. Kosei, let's swim in the sand. Those present, hi. Under the umbrellas. Yanagi, the shade feels so cool, doesn't it, Kanoko? Komori, hi, mushrooms feel better in the shade than in the sun, and I'm the same. Kurohiro, shadow is better than light. Yanagi, you say that because you're better in the shadows, right? Kurohiro, hi, but also because skin is sensitive to sunlight. Kanoko, but isn't it true that dark skin can withstand sunlight better? Kurohiro, don't judge me, he puts on sunscreen. Playing volleyball. L. Yui, here Manga, passes him the ball. Manga, hi, receives and sends the ball to the other side of the field. Rin, welcome Bondo. Bondo, understood. Catches and returns the ball. The ball falls into Yui's team's area. Shota, acting as referee, point for Bondo's team. Rin/Bondo, yes. Lying under the sun. Itsuka, it feels so good to tan. Setsuna, you can say that. Sen, it's good to relax in the sun from time to time. On the grill. Izuku, because I had to cook with anime-style tears. Ibara, because you cook delicious food, she replied. Izuku, ah, Ibara-chan, what do you want? Ibara, I came to accompany you, does it bother you? With feigned sadness. Izuku, of course not, it's always good to have some company, and it's better when your friend accompanies you. Ibara, friend whisper. Izuku, did you say something? Ibara, huh? I didn't say anything, nervous. Izuku, well. 5:30 p.m. The members of Class B were packing their things and changing clothes to return to the dorms. Awase, what a fun afternoon it was, wasn't it, guys? Class B, hi. Tetsu, and the grill was amazing Midoriya. Izuku, thank you. Ibara, thanks to you who made salad for me. Pony, and fish for me. Setsuna, and you gave me a cheat sheet just for me. Itsuka, and you also made a delicious apple juice. Izuku, it was no problem. Itsuka, but I still thank you. Okay, class, time to go back. Class B, hey President. The return trip was smooth and uneventful, so when they arrived at the dorms, the students went to rest for the next day's training. Monday/8:00 a.m/Class B dorms. The whole class was gathered in the room for an announcement from their teacher. Vlad, listen, class. Since the team battle is on Friday, the teachers and the principal have decided that all the time until that day will be free for you to train. So I recommend you don't waste any time. He starts to leave. Oh. I almost forgot, the support workshop will be open if you need it. Class B, hi sensei. After that, the students went to a breakfast. 8:40/gym. After breakfast, Team 7 decided to go to the gym to take advantage of all the time they could. Itsuka, okay team, what should we do first? Yui, how about we warm up before we do the workout? Izuku, I think it's a good idea Yui. Yui, thank you. Itsuka, then let's begin. Meanwhile in Class A. Ashawa, then prepare for the team battle. Class A, hi sensei. Ashawa had informed his students about the free time they had been given to train. After saying so, he left the dorms. Ida, okay class, let's get changed for training. Mineta, and if we rest the first day, after all we have until Friday to train. Mina, you're right. Yaoyorozu, but sensei said we should train. Kaminari, technically he said we were free all the time until Friday, he never said it was mandatory to train. Shinso, but it's better to make the most of your time. The discussion continued for a few minutes until Bakugo, shut up. You're lazy. Bakugo, those who want to train, train. And those who don't get in the way. He heads to his room, half. Todoroki, what? Bakugo, get ready, we're going to train in 10 minutes, and if you take too long I'll go alone. Uraka, why so much interest in training? If we have you and Todoroki, it will be more than enough to defeat Class B. Todoroki, it's a lie, it draws attention. Last year, Class B almost defeated us, and now that they have Midoriya, it will be twice as difficult. Shinso, not to mention that it will not only be against Class B, but also between us. Ida, but wouldn't it be better for us to coordinate with each other to defeat the other class? Bakugo, of course not. Ida, but Bakugo is interrupted. Bakugo, but nothing, he walks away, I'm going to change. Uraka, you can put aside your pride for once and help our class. Bakugo turns around and approaches Uraka. See, I've already thought about it. Boom. An explosion was heard throughout the building. Bakugo, listen round face. I don't give a shit what you say. Kirishima, calm down Bakugo. Bakugo, silence Kirishima. Kirishima falls silent, and you round face, and 4 eyes, stop acting like innocents. Ida, nervous, what are you talking about? Bakugo, I mean, they're trying to cover up, with that attitude, the fact that it was their fault they traded to Todoroki. He shuts up his mouth. Todoroki, remember Midoriya said not to tell them, he whispered. Bakugo, TSK. He leaves the place. After Bakugo's scene, the rest of the class began to leave, but a duo of people came up with an idea. Mineta, hey, calls attention. What if Kaminari and I are going to spy on Midoriya to study him and avoid surprises? Ida, that's a good idea. He smiles. As class president I entrust you with that job. Mineta/Kaminari, hi. 9:30/Gym. Team 7 finished warming up and started talking. Izuku, well, what now? Itsuka, I think it would be good if we had a practice fight. Izuku, it would be a very good idea. Yui, but we have to do it with all our strength. Itsuka, and that means going without limits. Izuku, but what if I hurt them? Itsuka, if we want to improve as a team, we have to be able to keep up with you. Yui, and for that we have to face each other without restraint. Izuku, if that's what you want. He moves away a little. I'll grant it to you. Itsuka, we're ready. Enlarges her hand. Yui, hi. Izuku, green rays begin to appear on him. One for all, full cowling 45%, whispers. While that was happening, the perverted duo from Class A were watching. Kaminari, looks like Midoriya is going to activate his quirk. Mineta, let's keep watching. With Izuku. Izuku disappeared in a blur of speed, leaving a green trail. Neither Itsuka nor Yui could see Izuku, they only saw a green flash. Itsuka, can you see it? Yui, not even a little. Izuku, it's time, he thought. Izuku began to hit his teammates, who could only defend themselves from some blows and receive most of them. Itsuka used his enlarged hands to block some blows. Yui, on the other hand, could only defend herself with her hands, since her quirk was useless for these cases. While the perverted duo was shocked by the power demonstrated by Izuku, and terrified by the opponent they would have in battle. It didn't even take 5 minutes for Itsuka and Yui to fall to the floor, exhausted with a single thought. Itsuka/Yui, we shouldn't have asked him to go all out. Izuku sat down to rest. Izuku, are you okay? He didn't get an answer. If I went too far, I hope you forgive me. He let out a small laugh, but I told you it was a bad idea to go all out. 10 a.m., Class A dormitories. Ida, and what surprises do you have about Midoriya? He asked the duo. The perverts of Class A were talking with their president about what they observed of Izuku. Ida, and what surprises do you have about Midoriya? Kaminari, well. Basically, when we face Midoriya, it'll be like. Mineta, it was like getting steamrolled without mercy. Ida, what? What exactly did you see? Kaminari, when we arrived at the gym, we hid so Midoriya wouldn't detect us. Ida, and? Mineta, he was practicing with his team, and then they had a sort of practice fight. Kaminari, we thought Izuku was going to hold back, but when he activated his quirk. Mineta, all you could see was a green flash while you heard Midoriya's blows. Ida, are you serious? With an eyebrow raised in doubt. Kaminari/Mineta, hi. Ida, this is a real problem. If he beat me before, now he won't even give me a chance to move. Kaminari, and we can't rely on Bakugo to defend us. Mineta, with the scene he made this morning, it's more than clear that he won't help the class. Ida: listen, I have an idea. Mineta, and that idea is? Ida, since we can't beat Midoriya, we have to attack his weak point. Save others. That means that instead of attacking him, we should focus on the rest of his team. Ida, it would make things easier for us, since we can use his team as hostages, and Midoriya will have no choice but to give in to us. Mineta, but don't you remember that we told you that he can appear and disappear in a flash of speed? Ida, don't worry, I'm fast too, so I can prevent it. Kaminari, if you say so. Unsure. With Team 7. The girls had just recovered from their fight with Izuku, but they still had body aches. Itsuka, my body still hurts rubbing the parts that hurt. Yui, you shouldn't have gone with so much power. Midoriya. Izuku, but you told me not to hold back. Itsuka, but you shouldn't have listened to us. Izuku, but. Yui, no buts. Izuku stood in a corner with a dramatic aura, muttering something about how complicated girls can be. In one universe, a man with a pineapple hairstyle felt proud. Itsuka, but, to change the subject, how are we going to train if you beat us by such a large margin? Yui, Itsuka is right, we can't leave all the work to you, but with the difference in our power it will be a little difficult to keep up with you. Izuku, you're right, he starts to think there must be a way to limit me and at the same time help me train. Yui, we are in a difficult situation. Itsuka, I'd better lie down to think, my body feels heavy. She lies down. Yui, you're right, he does the same. Izuku, heavy, heavy, heavy thinks that's it. Yui, what's going on? Izuku, the perfect way to train and limit myself at the same time. Itsuka, and what is it? Izuku, weights. Yui, weights? Izuku, high points at his wrist. There's a type of weights that go on your wrists and on points at his ankle, your ankles. If I use them, I could train my body and at the same time they would limit me due to the extra weight. Itsuka, it's brilliant Izuku-kun. Yui, and it will allow us to train without worrying about the difference in strength. Izuku, then this afternoon I'll go buy them. Yui, looks at a clock in the gym. Our time here is almost over. Izuku, that's right, also look at the clock. Itsuka, but we have to do one last exercise. Izuku, I know. Try to catch me until time runs out. Itsuka/Yui, catch you? Unsure. Izuku, don't worry, I'll limit myself this time. Itsuka, okay. Yui, okay. Izuku, one for all, full cowling 10%, he whispered, here we go. Itsuka/Yui, hi. After lunch, Class B main hall. Izuku, Itsuka-chan, I'm going to buy the weights, I'll be back at about 5:30. Itsuka, okay, be careful Izuku-kun. Izuku, don't worry, I'm not a student for hero for nothing. He leaves. Yui, Itsuka, the girls are talking, do you want to come? Itsuka, hi. Tuesday, gym, 9:30 a.m. Team 7 was in the gym training again, only with one difference. Izuku had a pair of rings on his wrists and ankles. Izuku, okay, one for all, full cowling 5%, whispered, I'm ready. Yui, but why are you going to use your quirk? Weren't you supposed to train without it? Izuku, each of the weights is equivalent to 30 kilograms. Itsuka, so you're carrying 120 kilograms. Amazed. Izuku, oh, and that's why I use my quirk, so that I don't get stuck on the ground and can fight against you. Yui, I think we're more even now Izuku. Itsuka, but remember not to increase your quirk. Izuku, hi. Izuku/Yui/Itsuka, let's fight. The three of them launched into a fight against each other. Due to the weights, Izuku found it difficult to move, showing a slight disadvantage. Yui was in the same situation as Izuku since her quirk was useless for hand-to-hand combat, but Itsuka was the one with the greatest advantage. She specializes in hand-to-hand combat, and with her quirk, she could block Izuku's slow attacks and Yui's attacks, and her physical strength was enhanced by her quirk, giving her a huge advantage compared to the other two. After about 10 to 15 minutes, the battle ended, giving Itsuka the victory. Itsuka, yes, I won. Yui, and I lost. Izuku, I didn't think training with weights was so difficult, I'll have to get used to them. Itsuka, receives a call, excuse me for a moment, my mom is calling, walks away. Izuku, it was fun fighting, don't you think, Yui? Yui, with a slightly angry face, if losing to your two teammates in 2 days in a row is fun, then yes, it was fun. Izuku, you're mad about that, aren't you? Yui, that's right. Izuku, it's frustrating to see that there's a big difference in power between you and the rest, isn't it? Yui, hi. Izuku, it's frustrating, but it's not a reason to get angry, rather it's a reason to improve. Yui, how so? Izuku, I'll use myself as an example. At the beginning of the first year I didn't control my quirk, and that resulted in me breaking my bones, and compared to my classmates, you could notice the difference in power from miles away. Yui, but if you have your super strength, that makes you more powerful than others. Izuku, you're right about that, but all that strength was no use to me if, after using it, I was left like dead weight. So I had to find a way to control that enormous strength, and after my internships, I was able to find that way. I activated full cowling, and this is that form. Full cowling, I called it that, allows me to control my strength to a certain percentage, but I must train so that the percentage I can control increases. Izuku, in other words, through effort, I was able to overcome the difference in power between my companions and me, and I still have a long way to go to control my full strength. Yui, I see. Izuku, but I didn't achieve all that alone, there were many people who helped me achieve it. Izuku, Itsuka and I specialize in close combat, and up until now we've only focused on that aspect. But you can't excel in that aspect because of your quirk, so tomorrow I will help you find a way to use your quirk so you can take advantage of it in a battle, as well as teach you the basics of close combat so you can defend yourself against attacks of that style. Yui, would you do that for me? Izuku, of course, he shows her a smile. After Iodine, you are my teammate and a friend of mine. So, will you allow me to help you, Yui? Yui with an almost imperceptible blush due to Izuku's smile. Hi Izuku, returning the smile. Izuku, this is the first time I've seen you smile. Yui, hee hee. Itsuka, guys, some relatives are coming to my house tomorrow, so I won't be able to come, sorry. Yui, calm down Itsuka, no problem. Izuku, Monoma and I will take care of it if there is a problem in your absence. Itsuka, thanks guys. Wednesday/Yui's room/7:30 a.m. We are in Yui's room, where you can see the sleeping body of the black-haired girl. Alarm, ring ring ring, rang for 1 minute until it was turned off. Yui, sometimes I want to break that alarm. Rubs her eyes. What time is it? Looks at her phone. Half an hour until breakfast. I better get changed. Gets out of bed. Yui went to the bathroom to wash her face, and then returned to her room to change. Yui, now that I remember, Itsuka said that she was going out to her house today. I hope that training with Izuku helps me improve and that it doesn't end up like Monday's practice. Flashback. Izuku, okay girls, remember you have to catch me before our time at the gym ends. Yui, then we have half an hour to catch him. Itsuka, it will be difficult to do it in that time. Izuku, ready? They nod. Start. Saying that, the two girls went to attack the green-haired boy, and he activated his quirk. Izuku, 1 for all full cowling 10 he whispered. Itsuka tried to catch him with her hands enlarged by her quirk, but since these, as they grew, made her slower due to the extra weight, and as a consequence the green-haired man dodged her easily. Yui tried to catch him by approaching him, but, like Itsuka, her plan failed. The girls tried to catch him with the same strategy as before, which obviously failed. With 10 minutes left, Yui had an idea. Yui, Itsuka the aforementioned turns around. I have a plan. Itsuka, what is it? Yui, listen. Starts whispering. Understood? Itsuka, hi. Izuku, what are they planning? He asked himself. Itsuka attacked the green-haired man again, but this time with his not-so-big hands. But, unlike previous times, Itsuka kept the green-haired boy at bay for a few seconds, and in one of his attacks, he forced Izuku to jump. Izuku, what? He was interrupted, as a rock his size hit him and at the same time threw him to the ground. That hurt. But, where did it come from? At that, Itsuka quickly approaches to catch him. Damn, he quickly stands up and dodges Itsuka, but instead he receives the impact of another rock of the same size as the previous one. I didn't expect that, but where did it come from? He turns to look at Yui and observes her with a tiny stone in her hand and with a mound of small rubble behind her, so that's where they come from. At that, Itsuka attacks him again, and he dodges it in the same way but again receives a rock from Yui. Izuku, this is getting difficult. He thought. I think it's time to use that. Itsuka attacks him again with the same strategy in mind, and Izuku jumps to avoid her blows and watches the rock coming towards him. But before it collides, the rock is destroyed by Izuku, who upon landing says, Izuku, Black Whip. A kind of black rays begin to appear on him. 1 for all full cowling 15% catches one of the rocks that were thrown at him and returns it towards Yui. Seeing the rock coming towards her, she jumped to the side to avoid it. Yui, the rock passes by her. It was close, but Izuku appears behind her. How? Izuku, whoops, didn't think that would knock you out. He quickly catches her as she stumbles and starts to fall. Izuku, guess I overdid it a little. Let's get you back to the dorms. Itsuka, sees the gym clock. Our time is up. Sees Yui fainted. I think you went too far, Izuku-kun. Izuku, hee hee, I think so. Let's go before they kick us out. Itsuka, you're right, but what do we do with Yui? Izuku, I'll carry her. Picks up Yui and carries her like a princess. Now let's go. Itsuka, hi, Yui is lucky, thought the last thing. The three of them headed to the dorms, with Yui in Izuku's arms. Upon arriving at the dorms, Yui woke up, still in Izuku's arms, and blushed profusely, creating a funny scene for the class. End of flashback. Yui, it was very embarrassing that I was in Izuku's arms. Remembering it, she blushes. I must admit that Izuku has strong arm size. It must be one of the reasons why girls like him. Flashback. After Izuku left to buy his weights, the girls gathered to talk among themselves. Yanagi, How are you doing in team training? Setsuna, I'm doing fine, even if Minona gets crazy sometimes. Ibara, Tetsu is very passionate about training. Pony, I couldn't agree more. Yui, Izuku is very skilled, and it is practically impossible to beat him. Itsuka, and he had to hold back in order to practice with us, and yet he still beat us. Yanagi, I'm afraid to face Midoriya. Komori, you can say that. But, now that I think about it, looks at Setsuna, Ibara, Pony and Itsuka, you like Midoriya, right? The four nod at the question, clearing up the others' doubts. Yanagi, it's weird. But why do they like it? Setsuna, I like him because when we met as kids, he protected me from some boys who were bothering me. After that we became best friends, until my family moved and we had to distance ourselves, so I said goodbye to him, even though it hurt, but before leaving I gave him my first kiss to make sure no one would take away my chance to do it. Ibara/Pony/Itsuka, like you took away his first kiss, they complained angrily and jealously. Setsuna, I had to take the opportunity to do it, and it was worth it. Ibara, still jealous, I like him because we were friends last year, but I fell in love with him after he rescued me from a train robbery at the hands of two thieves. Pony, I like it because it helped me speak Japanese more fluently and because it saved me from being crushed by a giant metal beam. Itsuka, and I like it because he took care of me while I was sick and supports me in my duties as president, and he also saved me from myself in a certain way. Yui, so they like it because, in different ways, Koss saved them from something. Yanagi, so he's something like your hero, or am I wrong? The four nod, I see. Komori, are you sure it's not because of her physique? The four of them, accompanied by Yui, blushed. Her blush tells me that what I said is true. The four, of course it's not because of that. End of flashback. Yui, I'd better stop thinking about that and go down to breakfast. After Yui had those memories, she decided to go down to have breakfast. During breakfast there was nothing remarkable, except that Itsuka went home as she had said yesterday. After that we can see the incomplete Team 7 walking towards the gym. Yui, Izuku. Izuku, hi? Yui, what will we do in the training you mentioned yesterday? Izuku, I plan to watch and teach you how to apply your quirk to a battle, and then I plan to teach you the basics of hand-to-hand combat. Yui, I see. Thanks for helping me with this, Izuku. Izuku, no problem, we are part of the same team after all, besides what kind of friend would I be if I didn't help my friend? Yui, I'll tell you again, thank you. Izuku, you're welcome. At that moment Izuku receives a call. Izuku, excuse me for a moment Yui. Yui, no problem. Izuku, hi? Answering the call. Mirio, Midoriya, it's me, Mirio. Izuku, ah. What do you need senpai? Mirio, I don't need anything, I just wanted to let you know that I'll come visit you with Eri, Nehire and Tamaki this afternoon. Izuku, I see. Okay, I'd really like to see Eri and the others again. Mirio, and she'd like to see you. Well, we'll wait for you at the entrance of UA at 2 in the afternoon, okay? Izuku, hi, I'll see you later. Mirio, see you hangs up. Yo. Zuku, looks like he hung up. Yui, who is it? Izuku, it was Mirio senpai. Yui, and what did you want? She asked curiously. Izuku, he told me he was going to come visit me with Eri and the other two of the big three. Yui, I see. Izuku, don't worry, they'll come at 2 in the afternoon, so it won't interfere with our training. Yui, great. Then let's hurry up to take advantage of as much time as possible, she said with a smile. Izuku, that's the attitude, smiling back. Yui, Itsuka was right, Izuku has a nice smile, she thought, and at the same time remembered what her friend had told her last night. Flashback. Yui and Itsuka were sitting on the sofa in the dormitory's common room, chatting while waiting for dinner. Yui, Itsuka, can I ask you something? Itsuka, of course, what is it you want to ask me? Yui, what do you like about Midoriya? Itsuka, why do you ask, Yui? With a small blush. Yui, you said, in the talk with the girls, that you like Izuku because he saved you from yourself, and the other girls said something similar, but what is the exact reason why Izuku managed to make half of the girls in the class fall in love with him? It's not just because he saved them, I know that. What I don't understand, what's so special about Izuku? Yui, I admit that he has a good physique and is very kind and altruistic, but besides that, he is something special, something that made you fall in love with him. Yui, so I ask you, what is that something? Itsuka sighs, honestly, I'm not sure what it is. But it's not necessary to know for me to have fallen in love. However, I think it was her smile and her willingness to help others. Itsuka, he has a willingness to help others, without receiving anything in return, something that I admire and respect about him, since, as I said, he helps everyone who needs it, without even being called. Itsuka, and she has a smile that radiates tranquility, security and confidence. A smile that tells you, everything will be okay. The most beautiful smile I have ever seen. Itsuka, that's the reason why I'm in love with Izuku Midoriya, besides having saved me from myself with a smile and a noticeable blush. Yui, thanks for answering me. Itsuka, you're welcome. End of flashback. The pair of students arrived at the gym and started warming up as usual, with Izuku using his weights. After warming up, Izuku approached Yui so he could talk to her. Izuku, well Yui, it's time for your training. Yui, understood. Izuku, first, let's apply your quirk to combat. Yui, and how are we going to do it? Izuku, believe it or not, you already know. Yui, I know? Izuku, hi. On Monday, you planned a strategy to defeat me. Itsuka, who has an advantage in physical combat, would corner me so I could jump to the side to dodge her. You would then throw debris enlarged by your quirk at me. You had to repeat this several times so that at some point, I would fall prey to you. But since I realized what you were planning, I was able to counter it. Izuku, in conclusion, oranges are healthy. Getting off topic. Yui, what? She said confused. Izuku, hee, it was a joke. In conclusion, you have a basic idea of how to use your quirk for a battle, only you depend on an object to be able to use it. Yui, and that limits me, right? Izuku, exactly, but we don't have to worry about it for now. He activates his quirk and hits the ground, creating a lot of rubble, so we're going to use your strategy from Monday. He moves away one for all, full cowling 10%. He whispered, you have to use that rubble to hit me. He jumps back to get away, being 15 meters away. That way we will practice your aim and skill with your quirk, and I will improve my evasion. He gives a sigh, one for all, full cowling 5%. He whispered, understood Yui-chan? Yui, hi, a little blushed at the honorific. And so, they practiced for a few hours. During that, Yui improved her aim a little and learned to predict the movements that Izuku was going to make, although not much. 10:30 a.m., gym. The teammates were preparing to leave the gym. Yui, it was fun throwing stones at you. Izuku, for you it was, for me it was a whole body ache. Yui, I'm sorry if I hit you too much. Izuku, calm down, it was part of the training. Yui, sure? Izuku, hi. Yui, okay, I believe you, Izuku-kun. Izuku, I think it's become fashionable to call me that. Hee. Yui, and it bothers you? Izuku, of course not. I'm glad they have that level of trust in me, that shows we're good friends, isn't it? Yuiken with a mocking tone. Yui, a little blushing baka pouting. Izuku, hee. 1:30 p.m., dining room. In the meantime, the incomplete Team 7 has even showered, separately, due to training. After that, they ate lunch with the rest of the class. They are currently washing the dishes from their entire class's lunch due to a bet they lost against the Monoma team, whose job it was to do the dishes. Izuku, it's fun to do homework when you're in company, don't you think, Yui-chan? Washing the dishes. Yui, it's more fun not to do them while drying the dishes, but since we lost the bet, there's nothing to do. Izuku, hee. Yui, but changing the subject. How will you help me with my fighting style if we can't use the gym anymore? Izuku, don't worry, we can practice outside the dorm since it doesn't require much space. Yui, okay, she said happily. Izuku, but first I must go greet little Eri, then we can continue with the training. Yui, you really love that girl, don't you? Izuku, of course. After all, she sees me as her father, and I want to give her the love she didn't have in the past. Yui, you are a very good person, Izuku-kun, doing that for a girl who has suffered all that, shows that you will be an excellent hero. Izuku, thanks, I'm sure you will be too, Yui-chan. Half an hour passed, and we could see a green-haired man waiting at the entrance of UA. For some people, but his wait would end in a second. Eri, Otosan. Eri, Otosan, said the girl happily as she ran towards her father. Izuku, Eri-chan, how have you been? Hugging the girl. Eri, Alright, one-san always visits me with Tamaki, and Mirio is really fun. Izuku, you mean Nehire, right? Eri, hi. Izuku, and by the way, where are they? Eri, 1 block from here. Izuku, you came here alone? He said worriedly, it's very dangerous for you to come alone. Eri, calm down Otosan, cross the track with them. Izuku, that calms me down a little. Size, you have to be careful when you go alone, understand? Eri, Hayato-san, she said with a smile. Then came the former big three of UA. Mirio, how are you Midoriya? He greeted with a cheerful tone. Izuku, good Mirio. Nehire, hello Izuku-kun. Izuku, hello Nehire-senpai. Nehire, don't call me senpai. It makes me feel old. Izuku, sorry Nehire. Nehire, better. Tamaki, hello Naru, Midoriya said. Izuku, how are you Sasu, said Tamaki. Mirio, and how are you doing? Have you adapted to your new class? Izuku, it's gone very well, I've made many friends and I also became the vice president of the class. Tamaki, looks like you've been doing well. Izuku, hi, I've been doing great. Nehire, and how is your quirk going? Have you mastered it better? Did you control those black whips that Mirio mentioned? Did you awaken another ability? And she continued asking for a few minutes, leaving the green-haired man overwhelmed. Izuku, well. How about we go to the dorms to continue talking and then I'll answer the questions. Nehire, sounds good to me. Eri, yeah, I'm already starting to feel cold here, hugging herself because of the cold. Tamaki, it's fine by me. Mirio, but won't we cause trouble for your companions? Izuku, most of them are training and only a few are in the dorms, so there won't be any problems. Eri, then let's go, she said before running away. Nehire, wait for me Eri, imitating the girl's action. Tamaki, Nehire is very lively size. Mirio, hee, you can say that. Izuku, that must be the reason why he gets along so well with Eri. The three of them started walking to catch up with the female duo and get to the Class B dorms. Upon reaching the main room of the dorms, they saw Yui watching television while eating popcorn. Yui, surprised, senpais? What are you doing here? Izuku, they were accompanying little Eri, who came to visit me. Didn't I tell you this morning? Yui, I forgot. Mirio, hee. Nehire, approaches Yui. You are. Yui Kodai the mentioned nods. Izuku told me about you, can I ask you some questions? Yui, sure, why not? Nehire, great. Mirio/Tamaki/Izuku, this is going to take a while, the three thought. Nehire, okay, what's your quirk? And what does it allow you to do? Yui, my quirk is called size, I think that's what it was, it allows me to alter the size of non-living things. Nehire, so it doesn't work on humans, plants, or animals? Yui, exactly. Nehire, but what happens if, for example, you use your quirk on a corpse? Will it work? Because according to what you told me, it doesn't affect living beings, but a corpse isn't alive. Yui, well, I don't know that she was interrupted. Nehire, and what happens to a flower that's been cut from a plant? Or animal fur? Or human hair? Or a dead plant? Or she continued asking for several minutes. Izuku, what if we make some popcorn to watch a movie? Tamaki, sounds better than watching Nehire bombard your partner with questions. Mirio, you're right, Tamaki. Eri, I want popcorn. Then the four of them went to the kitchen to prepare the popcorn, while Nehire continued to torment Yui with her torrential rain of questions. After the popcorn was ready, everyone present settled down to watch the movie and to finish off the time they started talking. Nehire, hey Izuku-kun. Izuku, what's wrong Nehire? Nehire, you still haven't answered my questions. Izuku, that's true, sorry for not doing it before. Nehire, don't worry, but please answer my questions. Izuku, hi. To start with, my quirk is fine, I can handle it better than before and I can also control the black whips but not completely. Nehire, that's excellent. Mirio, I knew you could do it. Tamaki, well done. Eri, Otosan is great. Yui, they say that because they didn't have to face him. Izuku, hee. After that, the movie started. 5 p.m. UA entrance. The former Big Three, accompanied by little Eri, as well as Izuku, headed to the entrance to retreat. Nay higher, it was fun spending the afternoon with you guys, but I have to go now. She starts to leave. Tamaki, it was nice seeing you again. Dobi. Izuku, same way team. Tamaki, he withdraws. Mirio, well, come on Eri, say goodbye. Eri, hi, goodbye. Otto-san hugs him. I'll miss you. Izuku, don't worry Eri-chan, you can always visit me. He smiles at her. Eri, hi, also with a smile. Mirio, okay, see you later. Midoriya raises his fist. Izuku, see you later. Mirio bumps his fist with Mirio's. Mirio retreats with Eri, leaving Izuku alone. Izuku, well, it's time to go train. He walks towards the dorms. Back at the dorms, he tells Yui to go train outside, and she agrees. And with that, the two leave the dorms to train. Already outside the dorms, we see Yui and Izuku warming up. Izuku, stopping to warm up, well, it's time to train your hand-to-hand combat. Yui-chan. Yui, hi, stopping. Izuku, what I'm going to teach you will only be the basics of combat, so if you face someone who specializes in it, it will be better if you fight with your quirk, okay? Yui, understood. Izuku gets into combat stance. Is this okay? Izuku, raise your arms and shoulders a little. She nods. And does it move your right foot back a little and separate it from the left? She does it. Now it's better. Yui, it's difficult to maintain this pose. Izuku, with time you will adapt. He gets into a combat stance. The essential thing you must learn is how to block and counter your opponent's attacks, and for that I need you to throw a punch at me. Yui, okay, throws a punch towards Izuku but he blocks it. Izuku, you see, you have to try to block the blows before trying to return them. Yui, I see. You can throw a punch at me for practice. Izuku, I was going to do it. And so they continued until nightfall. They only focused on Yui learning how to block attacks, due to the little time they had, although Izuku taught her one or another way to attack, but they did not focus on it. 8 p.m., outside the Class B dorms. We see Izuku and Yui lying on the grass, very close, observing the night sky. Yui, the sky looks very beautiful tonight. No Izuku. Izuku, you're right. Yui. Yui, thank you for taking this day to help me train. Izuku, you're welcome, although I must admit it was fun spending the day together. Yui, with a small blush, I also like spending time with you. Izuku, hee. Yui, now that I think about it. Why did Eri call you Otosan? Izuku, it's that she sees me as the father she never had. She's a person who had a terrible childhood. She had to be treated as a tool in Overhaul's experiments. And that's the reason why I wanted to save her. I want to be a hero who can make everyone smile. I wanted to save her smile. That's why, now that I see her happy and content, and above all, with that smile. And I've decided that I will protect her with everything I have. Because that is the job of a hero, to keep people happy and safe. Because that is my dream. And because that is the job of a father. Yui, amazed by Izuku's words, you are and will be a great hero and father. And Izuku-kun. Izuku, you will also be a great heroine. Yui-chan, and you will surely also be a great mother. Yui, at that moment a thought came to her of her and Izuku along with a black-haired baby with green eyes and freckles on his face, causing Yui to blush a lot. Thank you Izuku-kun. Izuku, you're welcome. Yui-chan showing a huge smile. At that moment Tetsu appears, having come to tell them about dinner, and leaves. Izuku, I think it's better to go inside for dinner. He gets up and stands in front of Yui. Shall we? He extends his hand towards Yui. Yui, hi, grabs Izuku's hand and gets up. Let's train Izuku-kun. Izuku, sure Yui-chan. They both enter the bedrooms to go to dinner. After dinner Itsuka arrives and begins to greet everyone, and after that Yui retires to her room. Yui's room. The brunette enters her bathroom to brush her teeth and take a shower, and then changes to lie down in her bed. Already in her bed, Yui starts to think about something before sleeping. Yui, today was fun for a number of reasons, but I think the main one was spending it with Izuku. I liked his relationship with little Eri, plus I learned that he's a hero, and I think that Eri and the girl's hero is you, Izuku, and to a certain extent I think you're mine too. She closes her eyes and smiles, then falls asleep. Thursday/8:30 a.m. Class B dining room. We see Class B having breakfast quietly, some were eating and others were talking. Tetsu, hey Monoma. Monoma, what do you want? Tetsu, aren't you excited for tomorrow? Monoma, yes I am, but it seems I'm not as worried as you. Awase, no one in the entire class gets as excited as Tetsu. Manga, and I think no one in all of UA, except for Kirishima. Ibara, Izuku-kun. Izuku, what do you want Ibara-chan? Ibara, I was wondering if you could go out with Pony and me to the movies on Sunday. Izuku, sure, I'd like to go out with you and... Wait, did you say with Pony-chan? Pony, yes, with me Izuku-kun. Izuku, it's surprising that they get along now, considering that when we announced that the two were a team they seemed very upset. Pony, well, it seems we discovered we have some things in common. Ibara, besides, it would be really annoying to be on the same team and hate each other. Not to mention that God said we should love one another. Pony, what she said? Izuku, hee hee. Setsuna, hey cousin, she calls him from her seat. Izuku, excuse me for a moment. He approaches Setsuna. What's wrong, cousin? Setsuna, it's nice that you called me like before, cousin, she smiles, but I was calling you because I wanted to invite you to a fair that will take place on Thursday, to spend some time just the two of us. What do you say? Izuku, of course, it will be fun to spend time like before. Setsuna, very nice. After breakfast, Team 7 headed to the gym for their last workout before the team battle. Izuku, do you know something? Itsuka, what's going on? Izuku, usually the man is the one who asks out, right? Yui, haha, what does that have to do with anything? Izuku, so today is the opposite day. Meanwhile, with Class A. The prodigious Class A was gathered, except for Kirishima, Todoroki, Bakugo, Shinso, and Seiryo, as they were training for the team battle. Ida, listen Class A. Since the fights are tomorrow, we have to come up with a strategy to take care of Class B so they don't intervene while we fight. Yaoyorozu, the ideal would be not to be confident, since last year, Class B showed that they can defeat us if we give them the opportunity, and now that they have Midoriya it will be more difficult to obtain victory. Uraka, don't you think you're exaggerating a little, Yamomo? I remind you that we have Ikun, Todoroki, Bakugo, Shinso, and Kirishima. Ida, although I would like to say the same Ochako-chan, we will not be counting on the help of either Team 1 or Team 6. Mina, why aren't they going to help us? Ida, because they will act independently of the class during combat, in other words, they will be opponents of Class A. Tokoyami, if we have them as opponents, we will have a very difficult time. Ida, that's true, and that's why I asked Yaoyorozu to come up with a strategy to defeat the traitors in Class B. Yaoyorozu, the strategy I've devised will allow us to defeat most opponents, but it has certain flaws, and they are related to Midoriya. Since we haven't seen him fight since last year, it's difficult to calculate how much he has improved. Ida, and that's why I asked Mineta and Kaminari to spy on Midoriya with the objective of estimating his power, and we came to the conclusion that between my team and Uraka's we can defeat him, but to better understand the plan, I'll leave you with Yaoyorozu to explain it to you. 8:30 p.m., Izuku's room. Izuku was in his bed resting on his bed while thinking. Izuku, tomorrow will be a great day. A day in which I will demonstrate the result of my training and the power of the hero Deku. Hee hee, it will be fun to see what will happen tomorrow. Falls asleep. Beta Training Camp /8:00 a.m/Friday. We are in the Beta Training Camp, the place selected by the teachers for the combat of the teams belonging to the classes of the hero course, Class A and Class B. Students from both classes were gathered for the speech by the teachers in charge of these classes. Ashawa, all right, kids. The day of the team battles has arrived. And for the event, we teachers have chosen the Beta Training Camp. Vlad, the reason why this place was chosen is because we want to see how they perform in combat in a city-like environment. Ashawa, in addition, it will allow us to evaluate the damage that will be caused to this environment. Vlad, with that cleared up, we'll tell you how the equipment will be distributed throughout the field. Ashawa, each team will be escorted by a robot to the location we have selected for each team. That said, the aforementioned robots began to appear, being 14 in total, and then they were placed behind the sensais. Vlad, once all teams are in their respective locations, they'll have 5 minutes to come up with a strategy. After that, an alarm will sound indicating the start of the battle. Ashawa, and to finish our explanation, we will proceed to mention all the teams, along with their members. Class A. Team 8, Mina Ashido, Mineta Minoru, and Yuga Aoyama. Team 9, Ochako Uraka, Denki Kaminari, and Hanta Sero. Team 10, Eijiro Kirishima, Hitoshi Shinso, and Masharao Ojiro. Team 11, Ida Tenya, Kyoka Jiro, and Fumikage Tokoyami. Team 12, Tsuyu Asui, Toru Hagakure, and Mezzo Shoji. Team 13, Rikido Sato, Momo Yaoyorozu, and Koji Koda. Team 14, Shoto Todoroki and Katsuki Bakugo. Class B. Team 1, Juzo Hononuki, Shihai Kuro Iro, and Kojiro Bondo. Team 2, Reiko Yanagi, Narengeki Shota, and Hiryu Rin. Team 3, Manga Fukudashi, Senkabura, and Togaru Kamakiri. Team 4, Tetsu, Ibara Shiozaki, and Pony Tsunotori. Team 5, Nato Monoma, Setsuna Tokage, and Jirota Shishida. Team 6, Kanoko Komori, Yosetsu Iwase, and Kosei Tsuburaba. Team 7, Izuku Midoriya, Itsuka Kendo, and Yui Kodai. After naming the teams, the robots moved to stand next to their respective teams. Vlad, with all that said, we can only wish you luck. Ashawa, robots, transport the students to their locations. Robots, hi, they start moving and the students follow them. The robots headed off in different directions, with the students following them. With Team 7. The robot in charge left them in their corresponding place, and then left, leaving the team alone. Izuku, well girls, it's time to show the result of our training. Itsuka, this is very exciting. Yui, yes it is, I've been waiting for this day since Wednesday. Izuku, okay, let's get organized quickly, we don't have all the time. Itsuka, you're right, what's the plan? Izuku, when the alarm sounds, we'll start moving to avoid fights as much as possible. This way, we'll have our strength at its maximum, and that will give us a huge advantage in a tough fight. Yui, but what happens if we get into a fight? Izuku, that's what I was getting at. I've formed a combat strategy that can be effective in most cases. Itsuka, what do you mean by most cases? Izuku, I mean, it might be useful for a simulated case, but in a real fight, the variables and possible situations are impossible to predict. Itsuka, I see. Yui, and what is the strategy? Izuku, the strategy is based on two types of situations, a fight against only one team, and a fight against multiple teams. Izuku, in a fight against a single team, the fundamental thing is to keep the weakest, physically speaking, in the back, who in this case is you, Yui, while the other two go to attack. Yui, and I'm supposed to just stand there with my arms crossed? With a frown. Izuku, of course not, while we attack hand to hand, you have to attack from a distance, throwing debris like when we trained. Yui, I see. Itsuka, and in a multi-fight? Izuku, in that case, the most important thing is to try to escape, since we wouldn't get out of there well. But if there's no other option but to fight, let's aim to protect each other. Itsuka, so take a defensive role. Izuku, exactly. Since we have to keep damage to ourselves to a minimum. Yui, but what happens if the majority comes for us? Itsuka, Yui is right, since you are one of the strongest students, if not the strongest, the others will have the objective of trying to take you out of combat. Izuku, yes that happens. He starts to take off his glove. I'll take this off, pointing to a wristband. Yui, you still have your weights on. Izuku, didn't you notice? Itsuka, no, you seem to be moving normally, so we assumed you weren't wearing them anymore. Izuku, hee, I think I'm used to having them. He puts his glove back on. Yui, you're a bag of surprises. With Team 11. Ida, it's time to execute our strategy. Jiro, I hope it works. Ida, don't worry, nothing can go wrong. Tokoyami, unless Midoriya comes out with a surprise, like last year and his black whips. Ida, that's not going to happen, I assure you. With Team 11. Todoroki, there's not much left to do before we start. Bakugo, I already want to face that bastard Deku with a defiant smile. Todoroki, same as me. With the teachers. The teachers of both classes move to the monitoring area to observe the combat. Vlad, it's time to start. Ashawa, you're right. Ashawa presses a button. Speakers, listen up, students. The team battle is about to begin. Remember, the team that is all of its members unconscious or immobilized will be disqualified. Nothing further to say. Speakers, Hajime, he announced, starting the fights.